subtract my age from the mileage on my buy this car to drive to work to pay for this car. Buy this car to drive to work.
Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan, and today I'm talking about a video released by Project Veritas where it shows some bias against some particular people. But first, remember, we are going live tonight for the Democratic debates. That's right, CNN has it behind a paywall. We're going to hear more about them soon. So if you want to check out our live stream, link will be in the description box for that, on our second channel, YellBRo Live. So please check that out. We're probably starting around 6 p.m. Eastern Time. The live stream will be up at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll probably get started 10 minutes after that. Whatever. Just to talk shit before the debates start. Also, don't forget to donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The GoFundMe link is down there in the description box. None of the money goes to us. It goes to charity to help someone else out. So please consider donating at Devon's Journey to Recovery. GoFundMe link down there in the description box. All right. So I watched part 1 and part 2 of this from Project Veritas, who, I don't really know. I heard of them a while ago. They were, hidden cameras. What was it, Acorn or something like that? And I didn't look too deeply into it. If I had to guess, the guy's probably a team player. I forgot his name. The dude who runs this thing. He's probably a team player, plays for a team, typical collectivism at its finest. But what happens when guys play on teams is they end up exposing the other side. The other side. I don't think it's his real counterpart. I think these are corporate shill people. I don't think these are real liberal democratic type people. Not the heads at CNN, not the top heads. But, alright, so in part 1, it's all about CNN going after Trump, which we already knew. We already knew about that. It's pretty blatant. So I'm not going to go into that. What I'm going to go into is how they look at someone like Tulsi Gabbard or Bernie Sanders. Now, I'm not going to show the whole video, but just little clips here and there. And then I'm going to give you, this is why this shit happens. A nice plain picture of here's why and how this happens. I mean, so let's play this clip real fast. This should be about Tulsi Gabbard. Here we go.
Yeah. I think the one they don't like is Tulsi.
No.
They don't like Tulsi Gabbard.
No, why do you think? Just
because she supports Assad, and she's not taking the conventional route when it comes to foreign policy and stuff like that. So she's actually pretty liberal, but
yeah,
when it comes to that one position, I think that a lot of people are not cool with her.
Because she supports Assad, These guys have no idea who they're working for. That's a CNN employee, I believe. Yeah, CNN media coordinator. He has no fucking clue what's going on at all. Can you imagine that? Nationwide news channel, and the employees have no clue what's going on in politics or news. Zero fucking clue. Unless he's one of the best actors ever who can pretend he's that ignorant on anything going on. Seriously. People who just watch YouTube are more informed than the employees of a international news station, essentially. That's part of the problem, is it not? I think it is. Now, Bernie's barely brought up in this part because, let's be real, these guys avoid talking about this guy. They do not want to talk about this guy. Unless he has a heart attack, of course, then they'll talk about him. But politically, he has policy laid out so blatantly for everyone to see. You can just go to it, click it, and read all his policy blatant right in front of you. And he's the guy who's avoided. That's how it seems. Now, they talk about in this video who these guys like. Who these guys like. Jeff Zucker, whatever, president of CNN. and he's going to like the same types of people. It's going to be Biden, it's going to be Warren, it's going to be Buttigieg, it's going to be Harris, it's going to be Booker. It's going to be these types of people are the ones they like, and there's no coincidence about it. There is no, I really like this person's policy, so, and the news just happens to favor them because of how good their policy is. It's like, no, we know that's not the case. We know you're biased. And once again, I don't think it's a bias for a political reason. I think it's bias for a we need to make money reason, or corruption reason, or even fucking stand in front of a giant wood owl reason. Seriously. Like, that has to be considered. Like, no, like, you have enough money. What are you going for here? What's your main purpose? What's your aim? So, they talk about Andrew Yang. They sound pretty unbiased when it comes to him. Maybe because they're not afraid of him. Sorry, Yang fans. They're not afraid of Andrew Yang because he doesn't have, first of all, and they're most important, they're two most important industries for these type of guys. Not the, CNN employee, but the higher ups, the people who are laying out the objective and the narrative. Domestically, it's, money, money, money. So that means big companies, big banks, Wall Street, corporations, all that shit is something they want to be favored. So Bernie Sanders, you're out. You're ignored, or you're pushed aside, or we'll wait for something shitty to happen to you. But we have to talk about you because people know who you are. But we won't be, it won't be the greatest coverage of you. And then the other industry, which is war. The war industry, which has its hands in everything. No one crosses that line. Everyone falls right in step when it comes to war. And who's challenging that? Tulsi Gabbard. That's why she's, going to be smeared on CNN or pushed aside or looked down on. That's why that's going to happen. Because of the war industry. And that's blatantly obvious, but this employee, he seems like decently high up guy, right? CNN media coordinator, has no fucking clue. Has no idea about news. Has no idea about actual news stories. That's incredible, right? These guys are an entertainment firm. And, okay, so let me round this all up with how these things kind of happen, I think. How things eventually lead here to where, it's Trump, 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 ignore Tulsi, ignore Bernie, prop up certain candidates, push others down. And here it is. Let's see if I got this right.
I just want not only myself, but my child that comes in, my future wife, everyone. I just want us to have a free and fair election. That's what it's all about. Like, we get information presented to us. We can pull the lever for whoever we want. Again, left, right, center, whatever. That's the American dream. That's what it should be. I don't need to have some ideology shoved down my throat that's twisted in a way.
What do you think CNN needs to do to reform this behavior?
Just get back to the facts and get back to reporting the news. To go back to what they were good at. Go back to what they did, reporting the news, boots on ground. Here's what's going on. There it is.
And there it is. Exactly. It's people's ignorance that allow people who may not be as ignorant but are fucking have corrupt motives to just fill in those voids of empty space you leave because you don't fill it up with knowledge or information or truth or anything. You leave the space wide open. Your ignorance is just a fucking empty space. That's what your ignorance does. And it allows creepers to fill the voids. His ignorance of what, like he says, go back to the news. Just tell it like it is. And blah, blah. CNN's, that's not CNN. That's not MSNBC. Fuck. Definitely not fucking Fox. Fuck out of here. Definitely not Fox. Definitely not any of them, really. These guys aren't, I really don't think they've ever done real news, right? Because there can be a story of a true event of, here's a mother whose, house burned down and blah, blah, blah. But they'll ignore the, well, what happened was the government was testing something in their backyard and, the house caught fire and that's how it burned down. Instead, they'll go off the sad story of the family's house who burned down. You see what I mean? They cut out certain parts of the narrative, which doesn't give you a real narrative, not an honest one. And it's always been like that. That ignorance leaves the room for the creepers. TYT's like, oh, you're up next. You're up next. You left room, and now it's like you guys seem to be moving in a certain direction because you left room out there for some creeper to get his hands in there. His or hers. Or its. Its was probably better because it's not really people. It's certain ideas. Or even guys are like, even a Jimmy Dore. It's like, you're leaving space here, man. You're leaving space here. Now, when Jimmy Dore decides not to go after TYT, when it's like, goddamn well what they're doing over there. When people in your chat, they give you money to ask about Tulsi smears from TYT, and you say nothing. You say, oh, I haven't seen it. Well, go fucking watch it then. And lay it out there, because you're leaving room. Now, let's say TYT becomes some corrupt organization. It's like, well, you gave them a start there, didn't you? By ignoring any type of, bullshit happening. It's my Danny Glover moment. Too old for this shit. Alright, that's it for me. There's my lesson for the day. Try to fill your voids of ignorance with knowledge instead of leaving it empty for a creeper to waltz in. That's my moral lesson for today. Alright, that's it for me. Please subscribe if you feel like. Remember, check out our live stream on YellBRo Live. Link in the description box. Check that out. Also, donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery. GoFundMe link is also in the description box. It's your two goals there, right? Check out our live stream for the Democratic debates, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Link in the description box. And also donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery. None of the money goes to us. It goes to charity. So donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery. The GoFundMe link is also in the description box. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs up.
Say you wanna get in.